Hi, and welcome to the Not Too Shabby Shop YouTube channel. My name is Lynn, and today I want to show you some cards that I created using this stamp set by Trinity Stamps. It's called Blooming Bunch, and it's available in the Not Too Shabby Shop. So I'll leave a link to it in the description box below if you're curious to check it out. But what I did with this one was I wanted to just have some fun coloring. So I stamped out the main image here onto 6 US A2 size card panels, and I chose different media, different substrates to color with and color onto. So let me show you the 6 cards that I created. So I've got this first one where I used alcohol markers, and I went by color, so I just picked whatever colors worked best that I thought I could sort of recreate across the different types of media that I have. So some of these markers are Ohuhu brand markers, some are Nouveau alcohol markers, some are Spectrum Noir. And I've colored onto, this is actually the first time I've used this paper. It's called, it's from Sweet Sentiments, and it is specially designed for alcohol marker coloring, and it's hard to pick it up on camera. I don't know if you can see, but there's a little bit of a sparkle to the paper. At some angles you can see it. It's very, very subtle. And of course the paper is super smooth, so it doesn't impact when you go to color. It won't ruin the nib of your marker, but it does have that nice subtle sparkle to it, which is kind of neat. It's almost as if you kind of went over it with a wink of Stella pen afterwards, but a little bit more subtle than that. So that's alcohol marker coloring. This one, so I just picked up a set of the Ohuhu Aqua Natural Brush water-based markers. I think these are meant to compete with the Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers because it is a real brush. It's water-based, and you can get a really, because there are real bristles, you can get really fine lines and do that sort of flicking technique. So what I've done is, for each of these flowers, it's one single marker color, but you see a nice ombre of color because I've just pulled that color out from the center of the flower. And as you pull that color out, it gets lighter and lighter. And then once I had that first layer done, I went back in with my marker, and on dry, once it had dried, I added that dark detailing, and that's just straight marker without any water to dilute it. So that's how I created that sort of texture and shadowing on the flowers. And so I haven't used these too much yet, but I'm really enjoying them so far. And this is colored onto watercolor paper. So there's that. Then my third from this set is coloring with mica powder and a solution of gum arabic and water. The gum arabic and water just act as a binding agent so that that mica does actually adhere onto your card. And so you get really lovely shimmer even on dark cardstock like this. So that's my first set of 3, and I do have actual video footage of me coloring, so if you want to see a coloring video, I'll link to it in the upper right hand corner. It's over on my channel, which is LV Handcrafted, and I have one video where I make these 3 cards. It's mostly a coloring video, so it's just me coloring to some music. So if you like those sorts of videos, you can pop on over and see these 3 cards getting made. Then the next 3 cards I have to share are in a second video. And with these 3 cards, what I've done is taken color pencil, I happen to use, I think they're Prismacolors. And so I've taken the exact same colored pencils and colored onto 3 different colored cardstock. So this first one is color pencil on white cardstock. Then I have the exact same colors, but colored onto craft color cardstock. And the exact same colors, but colored onto black. So you get a different look, a different effect. On all 6 cards, I use some blue pastels to anchor the image so that there's a little bit of a background behind the floral bouquet. But I really enjoyed doing this experiment of seeing the same colored pencils, but colored onto a different colored background. The only difference in how I approach my coloring is on the craft and the black. In the areas where there's highlights, so where the color is the lightest, I did scribble on a little bit of white color pencil so that that area could be nice and bright. Otherwise, even with a really light colored marker, I don't think it would be quite as true to color, quite as bright. But it is interesting how different the colors look just based on the different backgrounds that you're coloring onto. And it just gives a different tone, a different effect overall. So on some of these, I did stamp and then gold heat emboss. So that's on the 2 black colored cardstock and onto the watercolor paper. Then on the other 3, I stamped using the appropriate black ink. So I think for alcohol marker coloring, I used Nuvo Hybrid ink. And for both of these colored pencil colorings, I used VersaFine Onyx Black. So a lot of fun coloring up this stamped image. And I think what I'm going to do is this set of 6 I'll create a little gift box and then maybe give it away as a gift during the holidays, so that it's nice because they're all sort of the same but also a little bit different. And then 3 of them are thank you cards, and then the other 3 are birthday cards. So I think they're going to be really easy, versatile to use. So I hope that you enjoyed this little sort of show and tell. Again, if you're interested to see me actually coloring these, I have one video where I do the 3 color pencil colorings. Then I have a second video where I do this set of 3 colorings. Thanks so much for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting and have a fantastic day. Bye!